All right, welcome back. This is Sport Zone. My name is Fentio Tahir Fentio. We appreciate your time every Monday evening. We are on from now till 10:30 p.m. So we've got a lot to go to tonight on the show. To help me do that, I've been joined by two lovely, amazing, intelligent young men, Sikyofe Philip and Daniel Cranston. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You had a good weekend?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good, huh?
It was a good weekend.
Yeah. I did too. We're counting down to the Joy Sports Invitational.
Yeah.
Today you were out. Did they give you, you went to Tropo Farms, did they give you fish?
No, they say it will come.
They said that fish will come.
Yeah. You couldn't load fish in the car like that. It will come.
You went to Adansi Travel.
Adansi Travels.
Did they give you a ticket for vacation?
That
will come. Oh, Charlie.
will come.
On Saturday,
Yep.
we are all going to be at the University of Ghana Stadium.
Everybody's repping.
For the Joy Sports Invitation. It's crazy how many institutions have signed up for this. Like, it's ridiculous.
And people are still...
Yes.
The phones are calling.
The phones are calling.
Put on the phone.
Even after we said, that's it.
Yeah, people are begging.
Yes, we said, no, please. Like Trump, right? No, please, it's enough winning. We don't want to win anymore. Oh, please, stop. They are still calling. Look, they're still calling. These are images from last year. And interestingly, the 100-meter race was a big attraction last year.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody, like, there's that inkling in your voice, that thing that makes you, gives you false hope.
Than everybody. In your mind, you run past everybody.
In your mind, you run past everybody.
But no lie.
Oh, Master, no lie. Anyway.
That's Adansi Travels.
Yes, look at Christy with the chess team. Look, that's Sesco over there.
Yeah.
Last year, he came
Yeah.
a big and ardent, and that's the DSTV, no? Oh, no, that's not Alex Autry. This guy won that is one of our colleagues from Asempa FM. He won the arm wrestling competition.
Charlie, you guys watch the number 4, the guy in the sea blue.
The sea blue, yeah.
The sea blue.
This is the female penalty shootout. Hey. Wide off the mark, wow. Aerobics. This year's aerobics will be led by the chief of staff.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So that's that. So listen, Saturday, it will be amazing. We're all... you don't need to be part of the institutions that are coming to come around, right?
Yeah,
you can come around and enjoy. Hang out with the number 4. Anyway, so that's that. This Saturday, so we're starting as early as 6 a.m. We'll be there at the University of Ghana Stadium. And we were there throughout the entire day with no time to rest whatsoever. Listen, all right. I want us to talk about something real quick. I think within the week we saw, but please bring it up, that the Ghana Football Association were considering proposals to increase the term of office of the GFA president from 2 terms to 3 terms. Now, this will require Congress to vote and make amendments to the statutes of the Ghana Football Association 2019. The statutes that were only brought just about 6 years ago after normalization that everybody signed up for. So what has happened in exactly 6 years? In fact, the GFA General Secretary says the proposal was made 3 years ago. So what has happened, so much so that only 3 years after normalization, we somehow, when the GFA president hadn't even finished serving his first term, so much so that we were already considering a 3rd term 3 years ago. What is it about the duration or the term of office that 8 years are not enough and that it must be 4 years and 3 of those 4 years before they can leave office? Now, bear in mind, what I know is that, let nobody lie you, there is no provision at FIFA that mandates that an FA president must have 3 terms. So that narrative, dead it, kill it. There is no single regulation at the FIFA level that says that you must have 3 terms as a GFA president or as an association, a member association president. No way. In fact, there are several other member associations that still have 2 terms. However, FIFA are not against a 3rd term. So if you make proposal to extend the term of office to 3 terms, FIFA will not kick against it. And that is what the GFA has done. They sent those proposals to FIFA, including making the 2nd vice president an automatic position for females. That was also approved. They had also requested in their proposals to increase the number of EXCO members from the current 11, or plus every president 12, to 24. FIFA kicked against that and said they cannot do that. But then they approved the other 2, which is making the 2nd vice president an automatic female, and then also extending the term of office from 2 terms to 3 terms. They sent the proposals to FIFA, not the other way around. FIFA didn't write to them to say, do this. They said, this is what Congress wants. And the General Secretary says, this comes from clubs. He says the clubs made the proposal. They will take it to Congress, and the clubs will vote. And my question then to you, Sesco, is what do you make of all of this development from the past week? We've known about this for at least 3 years, right?
Yeah, it's been an open secret. Now finally out of the basket fully. When it comes to the politics, this administration are incredible at it. They are brilliant at politics. And what we are discussing now is the politics of the game. Forget about how well they've done or not. Let's talk about the politics that they are doing. And I think that the Ketakiriko administration, when it comes to playing the politics, pressing the right knobs, they are brilliant. There's nothing all of these suggestions or all of these applications to FIFA or writing to them to seek clarification and get confirmation from them, there's nothing illegal about it. It's all very well and good. And they've gone through the right processes to arrive at this point. So there's massive credit to them. So first, they are asking that the term of the presidency can increase to a 3-term, which is allowed.
Yes.
So FIFA can't say no, because even at that level, they can do that.
Yeah.
They are also asking, even more importantly now, where, and here's the catch, it's a brilliant thing to chip
It's a
in.
fantastic.
I love it, right? These days, we are all pushing for women empowerment. We want women to be more involved in sport. But how can we do that if we don't have a woman at the table, a capable woman at the table? So instead of, and that is where affirmative action comes in. Instead of the woman having to go in and compete with all these men in a men-dominated sport, why do we not safeguard a slot at the highest table for a capable woman? And that is a brilliant political tool. In 2025 itself, FIFA cannot say no. What if I would say no is will be the 24-member ESCO. And the reason why they're also pushing for that 24 is that automatically all the 18 Premier League clubs would have a seat at the ESCO.
There you go.
Right? And we know that Premier League clubs, when you are voting, they've got an incredible number, they've got a higher number of votes and of course, power when it comes to influencing election. So when it comes to the politicking, you must give it to this administration. They are doing all the right things. I must also say that when they say they are going to FIFA to seek, approval to be able to increase the tenure of the presidency, it is not necessarily for the sitting president. Politically, it's not. So they might as well get that clarification and get the pass for it. But it's when they turn up at Congress to vote, whoever wins the presidency is eligible to come again for 3 times.
Yes.
Now, when they go to ESCO and they feel like Mr. Simeon Okreku is the man to take the helm again, is their decision.
Nothing
their choice.
any of us can do about it.
They can as well say, no, Mr. Okreku, we don't want you. We want another person. And that person can come back again for another election, come back again for another election. What this does is it gives Okreku the opportunity to stand again and contest for the seat. Whereas a couple of months ago or a couple of years ago, he would have been ineligible to do so because we're running the 2-term. But now if they change the statutes, which they are doing it very well and through the right processes, I don't think there is anybody anywhere who can point fingers at them and tell them they are cutting corners. I don't think they are. I think they are playing the politics well, and then if the club decide that Kets goes on, who can say no?
No, so that is the prim and proper way of looking at it, looking at the processes. That
Yeah. So the politics of it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What I want to know is what you make of that whole decision, not the processes, but the decision to extend the term of office from 2 to 3.
When you have a very
That
good
office, not the individual. That
the office.
of every president.
It's when you have a very good football GFA president, you would even wish you can give him a lifetime as long as he's good and delivering. In the same way, if the person is a terrible leader, you want the person out of the door even after 2 years. So for me, it cuts both ways, right? So I'm not going to say it's a bad thing that you have 3 terms, or it's a good thing that you have 2 terms. Because, like I said, if the person is good and delivering, I would want the person to stay longer and keep delivering. Because if the person exits, there's no guarantee that somebody continues the good work. But I rather want a good person to stay and work longer than to stay for the 2 terms when the person can go for 3 terms. Woe to us if we have a terrible president and he can stay for 3 terms and then it's disaster. So it's both ways for me.
DK, giving consideration to our local context, and I say local context because, there is a reason those term limits are usually imposed because we have a tendency of entrenchment and power drunkenness and all of these other things that usually come with people that stay on for far too long. Now we say, okay, 2 terms, 8 years. It's the same with our presidency, what have you. So let's start with that. What do you make of, because for me, and I don't want to put ideas in your head, I am only slightly baffled because we haven't even given the 2 terms a go yet. Like we haven't even tried it to its full extent yet to discover whether this is good for us or it's bad for us. And we have already decided that it's a bad thing, so let's make it 3. For me, that's the only place where I feel I have a few reservations.
No, we've not said it's a bad thing. We said it can be better. We've not said it's a bad thing.
But what do you think of the whole thing?
One aspect is the fact that per the football governing rules, it's fine. Yeah. It doesn't break any rule. The other aspect is how we feel about it.
Yes.
And to be frank, I think Citro captured it very well. And most people are looking at it based on the Keto Kriko administration and what they've done in power so far. And it's not necessarily been the best per the majority point of view. So most people are not necessarily too happy about it, which I get. Personally, that's where I have my qualms with the fact that Ket will go again because what we've seen so far has not been satisfactory and it means we need to go again. But bottom line is, for me, I'm looking at this point of view. When it comes to national team football, we fund it. When I say we fund it, majority of the states funds it. It means you and I fund it. Now we are looking at the deal they brokered a couple of days ago. Yeah. And if the money is going to come from government, then it means essentially we are funding it again.
It is actually coming.
So nobody has said it. That's why I don't want to.
Oh, the GFA.
I don't know. Even the minister has said it.
Yes. So that government.
So
it's our taxes.
If we are paying for their
support the league.
If we are paying for their
we haven't discussed it here, have we?
Way.
No.
Oh no. Yeah,
look,
not yet.
If we are the ones funding their premier product and their most prized product, and we are also funding the national team product, male, female, all across, I just feel like when it comes to things like this, and this is where I'm talking with feelings, I'm not talking with, because I've said it is per their rules and regulations. But whatever happens at Congress should reflect what the people of Ghana are feeling. Not necessarily what works for the football people. Because the football people, to be frank, they voted in some ridiculous things in the past. Like they've allowed some things in the past which, from the outside, doesn't really sit well or doesn't really reflect what is necessary at the time. So I just feel like when it comes to something like this, it should reflect what the people are thinking because now our money is very much involved in what they are doing. And if our money is involved, then we should also have a say to some extent. But again, when it comes to the legalities of it, they are free to do what they want to do. And the fact that FIFA has take this off or allow this to happen doesn't necessarily mean it has started. They still have to go to Congress, as you said. Individuals will still have to weigh and assess and vote on it. So for me, look, it's a very funny thing because they keep on saying it, that they are football people, and most of the time we disagree. But when it comes to things like this is what proves that they are truly football people because they can decide what they want to do. But again, you can only hope that if this thing is passed, we are going to see much better leadership from Keto Kweku and the people at the top because it's very necessary. As Sicho brilliantly put it, if somebody is doing well, you want the person to continue. If the person is doing bad, you can't wait to see the back of the person. And I just genuinely feel like if you are empowered and you assess what the people are truly thinking about you, it should affect the way you approach your work. You should want to make some improvement. And I'm not going to say it's been all been gloom. I'm not going to say that. But we need to start seeing some decisions that reflect that football is at the heart and of those who are in charge, not necessarily personal and selfish interest. If that's the case, then we'll celebrate. If not, then we'll just have to live with it and wait for the third term to be over. But again, it's not consecutive. So Kurt could lose this election and still come back again for a third term. Similar to what we have at FIFA, but
there's also the part where...
Is that the case with John Mahama?
Absolutely, 100%.
What they are war?
Trump,
John Mahama, 100%.
No.
He came back.
No.
I see the third. Hey, okay, no idea.
Charlie.
Bro, I might not go there.
It's the fact that he introduced the word consecutive. But I've heard people.
No,
I'm asking you.
I was thinking because I was thinking along the line. But like I'm thinking like in every human institution, right? It doesn't matter how good you are or how good you think you are when you start a job. There's a possibility that you have a very tough start. And if you're reasonable enough, you're able to learn the job. If you're not fortunate, you might just be doing the right things at the end of your tenure. When I look back on getting to the end of last year into this year, I actually look at the FM and thinking they might have just started making some good decisions. Or some of the things they claimed they started doing when they got on is now reflecting.
Okay.
Because let's face it, we've seen the girls go into the AFCON, they've come on with bronze. It's looking increasingly very likely that we would make the World Cup, even though we've been a disaster in not qualifying to the AFCON. And some way, somehow, they've managed to get us and government to pay them 18 million for their Premier League clubs. What you're also hearing is that the lower division teams will get something, and then women's football will also get something. So all of a sudden, when you look at the very things that got us so upset, it looks like they are beginning to make some very important and, forward-moving decisions to it. And so even though they've had a terrible, everybody knows my position on this, they are terrible at the job. They've been terrible at it. But if the last couple of months are anything to go by, and Ghana is on the brink of qualifying to the World Cup, and indeed they do, and the girls can improve because next year they play again. And then in the next 2 years in the AFCON that is to come, we can qualify. Then we can say they've had a terrible start of their time, but they might have now just realized how to crack Ghana football. So let's see how it goes. But in the end, do we trust people who go to Congress to make the best decisions? I don't trust them. But yeah, it's up to them.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. Very interesting things. So for me, the only thing I have to say is that, and I'm very, very particular about this, our local context. It's very, very important because every time people have been giving extended periods of leadership, they often tend to be massively unaccountable. So a longer term of office can be a threat to accountability and even good governance. And we've seen it many times, because there can be complacency, reduced transparency, and even weaker checks and balances because people have stayed in a position for so long, they become very complacent. I also understand that being in a position for too long can encourage political patronage and entrenchment because we know that the longer people stay in power, the more interested they are in continuing to stay in that power. So then they develop sycophants and give people things that would only ensure that they win the next election, instead of focusing on delivering on targets within a fixed period of time. And I am absolutely in favor of somebody promising to deliver and delivering in that fixed period of time, because you know that they've given you a term limit. And you made those promises based on the number of years that you know that term limit guarantees. Nobody goes into power making promises believing that they need 15 years or they need 12 years to implement those. In fact, every cycle is just 4 years. Every promise you make, you know that they're deliverable within that 4-year period. If you genuinely don't believe that you can deliver on those promises in that fixed term limit, then don't bother. So that's why I don't think, and I disagree with anybody that argues and says that the longer the term of office, the more they can achieve. And I've seen some comments from my senior brother, Sani, saying that no FA president can make any meaningful impact in a 2-term period. That is not true. People have made bigger impact in a shorter period of time. What is important is to deliver on your promises. And I actually think that when you know that there is a time limit, and however short, that there is a deadline to what you've promised, and you genuinely believe in what you promised, I think that people are more under pressure to deliver. But when they know that there is another opportunity and another opportunity for them to keep going, more often than not, their ultimate goal is working to see how they can win the next election. And sometimes those works may only benefit the voting population, but not the entire footballing community. So we need to be very, very careful and watch out for those things. Look, they've not broken any law, but I think that we have reason to be concerned given our local environment. And Sicho makes a brilliant point about whether we can trust the voting population making decisions for the entire football community in this country. And that is where the issue is, because at the moment, those people are the ones who are going to use our taxes to try and develop football. So we should be able to trust those decisions that are coming from those people. If what they're making, if those decisions are only based on what they're personally getting, then we have a massive problem. And that's why I have issues with this current position. I am actually disappointed that we didn't even consider finishing that 2-term regulation and try to see how it works. Let's see what happens. Ket still has 3 years to go. Let's see what he does in the next 3 years. And maybe when he's done, then we can say, okay, he did all these things, but maybe if we give him more time, he can do more. The proposal started coming only 2 years. 2 years into the new regulations, into Ket's administration. What did we see in that period, in those 2 years, to think that the whole GFA president and Ket, that anybody that's in that position that Ket is in at the moment, needed 3 terms to deliver on the promises only 2 years into that tenure? You tell me. I'm not the one saying it. They said they made the proposals in 2021. 2 years into the term of office of the new regulation. We already knew that we can't, no FA president can deliver anything within that period. They need 12 years. I mean, I don't understand that motivation at all. What did we see? That's my disappointment. So I think, I don't know what would happen at the end of the day. What I do know is guarantees is that once they table this at Congress, we know that they are going to be approved. I like the other proposals that they've made. The guaranteed position for the female as one of the presidents, that's a fantastic idea, women empowerment and all that. But I just find the timing of this whole extension very, very curious. And it's not personal. It has nothing to do with Ket, obviously. But I don't understand why anybody would think that any FA president, 2 years into a new administration, a new regulation regime, we've already determined that we need 12 years. What did you see in the 2 years that you think that, we think that the next 6 years will not be enough? Let's add another 4 years. And I'm asking the football people or those who made the proposals, because the understanding is that the proposal didn't come from Ket. It didn't come from the bosses. It came from the clubs. So Ghana football clubs. What did you guys see after 2 years? 2 years after normalization that you think or that you thought that we needed 12 years for the FA president to do anything meaningful? Why didn't you even have the patience to just see out the two-term regime? Let's see. If it doesn't work out, then we change. You didn't even attempt to finish it. That's why I'm convinced that this had absolutely nothing to do with somebody needing 12 years. It's just a case of entrenchment. And I think we came from an era where we massively criticized entrenchment. And I think that was what led to number 12, because many people were very unhappy. And I think people have short memory. That one of the reasons Nyantakyi started to really vex people was because he had promised that he would not go for a third term. And then, a year or so to the election, he changed his mind and went for a third term. And from then on, he started to make enemies. People hate entrenchment. When there is a regulation, stick to it. Nyantakyi did the same thing. They changed the regulations to allow him to go for a third term. How did that end up? A word to the wise isn't enough. Isn't enough. It's enough.
But I don't understand for you. They are not changing the term for anybody. For one person. They are changing the term for the office.
Exactly.
But I'm saying that.
So my question is, I don't understand what they've seen in the office.
No, they could have entered the office day one and still decided that let's make it 3 terms so that when you have a good president, we can decide that the person goes. Otherwise...
No, I understand you.
Yes.
No, I understand you. I'm saying that those very people, you said they could have. They didn't.
Yeah, they didn't.
They sat down and said 2 terms.
Yes.
Good.
No, they didn't
and
say
voted for them.
No, they didn't say 2 terms.
What you did?
Normalization said 2 terms.
You don't understand. The normalization didn't impose the regulations. In fact, they voted for them, and I was there.
Okay.
In fact, they had several meetings.
Yes.
Some of them, the club even kicked against some of the regulations. They removed them. So they had enough time.
When that Congress was dragging, even before the votes, before the election that day, some of the things the club, some of the big wits in there said this, let it go. When we come, we'll reorganize. You were there, but you were there. I was there. Let's not pretend it happened because they were wasting.
No, to be fair,
they were wasting time.
The let
so
it
you
go.
Let the
the let it go commentary. Yes, I was there. I remember that.
Yeah.
The let it go.
It wasn't for one. No.
It came from Dr. Andiabe and
no, I'm saying it wasn't just one.
It wasn't one
issue.
But it wasn't one. But I'm saying that the term of office was not one of the issues that was holding the Congress down.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yes.
I'm saying that. So when Normalization brought up their recommendation, they had to vote for some. Some were dragging. The debates were on and on. Let's let this go. When we come, we the football people come, we will show them how to do football. And for me, honestly, personally, like I've said, I have absolutely no problem with the 3 terms. But can we trust the football people to make the right decisions? Because look, they can vote for a president, and the president's tenure will end after 1 term. If those who are going to vote are credible. And we would want that.
Yes.
Somebody comes, the person fails, and the person goes after 1 term. Somebody comes, the person is great, the person stays for 3 terms. So the issue is not the 3-term tenure. The issue is the person in office and the people keeping the person in office or taking the person out of the office. Otherwise, 3-term tenure shouldn't be an issue. But the point is they will go and rubber stamp. The reason why you have a problem...
This is why I said that our local context is very,
you don't trust
important.
the people who are voting.
Yes.
You don't trust...
And as a result of that, we need the checks to be stringent.
But if
So the point that's happened before. We've seen this.
You've seen it before.
That's the point I made.
Well. So it makes sense that some of us will kick against it because this is literally history repeating itself.
My point is...
On the first
the reason why I'm not so bothered is because if they do the 2-term tenure, the same system we have will produce another president just like or similar to the one who has exited. He'll go for 2 terms in a cycle. So for me, the problem is the people the system produces. We spoke about
and as a result, I agree. And as a result of that, as a result of the people that are in the system, I think that one of the best ways we can cut our losses to limit it.
How are you cutting your losses when the person coming to replace the person is not any better?
Yeah,
the person's...
You're not getting it.
We say you know good.
No.
We brought Ketino. Get credit, they were such a quizzy. But, I mean... So how have you cut your losses? How?
No, you can cut your losses.
How have you? I'm giving you a scenario.
No.
How have you cut your losses?
From our local context as well, what I've discovered is that every time a new person comes, at least for the first term, no.
First team.
First term.
No. Yeah.
But first term. What happened in Guest first term?
You say what?
What happened in first term? It was terrible. It's been terrible from day one.
No. You see,
The West.
a lot of hold on. Yes, but you see, he would argue. In fact, they would argue that a lot of the foundations they put in place in that first term.
Now,
yes, you understand, because they said at that time they were now, so you wouldn't see the results immediately. But now, no.
That's why why back-to-back AFCON.
Now we say we are seeing in quote results, right? But what foundations are they laying now? So maybe now there's very much no interest in.
I don't even buy.
They're just reaping results and going.
No, I don't even buy.
It happened with with all due respect. It happened with the Nyantachi era. Once we got to the stage of reaping results,
we forgot about the cycle. But I don't even buy the fact that they were planting or building blocks or doing building.
You don't see anything.
I don't see. Listen. They could have been building those blocks and we would still have been doing okay in AFCON.
Because some bigger decisions caused.
They had we went to an AFCON with players who were injured and bro.
Okay.
Some way.
Let's do Ghana Premier League fixtures real quickly. They were released today, so we're going to show you which teams. These are first round fixtures. Basake Holy Stars at home to 11 Wonders. Let's look at the league champions, Gold Stars. They will open their campaign against Bechem United. It's a BA derby that will start the season. Look for your favorite club, Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They are away on the first day of the season at Brecum Chelsea. Meanwhile, Hearts of Oak will be at home to Hohoi United. That should be a cracking game of football as well. Let's look at the first 5 fixtures of the various teams as well. These are the first 5 fixtures of Hearts of Oak. They will play 3 home matches and 1 away. So Hohoi United, 2 away, sorry. Hohoi United at
I hate this fixture.
home, Dreams FC away.
No, I hate it because Kotoko and Hearts of Oak are playing way too early.
Yeah.
Match day 5.
Match day 5, yeah. But it's good. Oh, they will test their metal very early. All right, let's move on then. Look at the first 5 fixtures of Kotoko. There you go. At home to Brecum Chelsea. Away to Brecum Chelsea. Then at home to the champions, Gold Stars, Basake Holy Stars away, Hearts of Lions home. Bashir Report is coming home.
That's tough. That's really
Hearts of Oak away. Yeah, very tough. Much tougher first 5 compared to Hearts of Oak.
Yeah, that's tough.
What about the champions? Okay. All right. Let's move it on. So this is the first 5 fixtures of the champions. They will have to deal with the CAF competitions as well. They alongside Kumasi Asante Kotoko. So Bechem United at home, Kotoko away, Brecum Chelsea at home, Swedru All Blacks away, Swedru All Blacks away. That's a game I want to watch. Basake Holy Stars away as well. Guys, quick thoughts. I mean, interesting fixture, yeah?
Yeah, very interesting fixtures. Yeah, very interesting fixtures.
So it's a possible 13 from 15 for BBN Gold Stars.
Yeah.
Remember last season, they started really well. At the end of the first round.
They were good.
Looks like that's the key. Okay. And the home form also.
I'm very much interested in the newly promoted side. Sweden All Blacks, very traditional. Hohoi United, the Chiman 11 Wonders, who, by the way, we hear that is a takeover in ownership. So all of these clubs are, even though some have been away for a long time, they are still used to what the Premier League is. So I'm interested in how those 3 promoted clubs are going to fare.
All right, interesting. All right, we're going to take a short break now. When we come back, I've got many of your messages here, and then we will take you straight to Europe as well. So there's still a lot to come on the show, which is proudly sponsored by Piva Beverages, producers of Piva Natural Mineral Water, and Guinness, of course, also supporting us here on the show. Do stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Sports Zone on Joy Prime. We are on till 10:30 p.m. The show is proudly sponsored by Piva Beverages, producers of Piva Natural Mineral Water. I tell you all the time, the weather is very cold these days. So the tendency to forget to drink water is high. So I'm reminding you, don't forget, your body still needs water. You understand me? Whether the sun is hot or not. And make sure it's Piva.
If you have fever, there's no way you forget to drink water.
Thank you very much. If you have the fever,
there's no way you forget to drink water.
Can you imagine?
Now, anybody have handed the fever drinking water to? We've got a great comment about it. The feel of the bottle, how light and soft. It's just there's something about it.
Yeah.
People ask me if it was imported. No. It's made.
No.
Yeah. Like I've had a couple of people asking me if it was imported. I'm like, no, it was made right here.
Interesting. And then the Guinness Smooth is there, and then the foreign extra stout. If you drink Guinness, you know that Guinness is. There's nothing like Guinness, right? Nothing. Absolutely nothing like Guinness. It's unique. It is smooth. The stout and the foreign extra and the Charlie. Charlie. I shouldn't know, but I have friends.
Charlie.
I didn't want to mention names.
Mention.
Oweku and Kawawa are the only two people that will make you look at the Guinness bottle in a different way.
Charlie, this thing.
You understand?
Charlie, the way
guys, I've got a lot of comments that have come through on this topic. So let me read a couple of them before we take you to Europe as well. Cyril from Kaswa says, what rubbish? 3 terms for what? Ket should go home and sleep after his second term. Interesting. This one says, Ket and his cronies have destroyed Ghana and now they are pushing for a 3rd term. Until corruption ends in GFA, we should forget about winning medals. Ticho says it's not about Ket, it says it's about the office. So you people it's about the office, please, not Ket. Junior Mugabe says, Kodekreku once promised to build a football association where all bodies work effectively. But has he built people who can stand when he's no longer in office? If he himself admits he hasn't, yet seeks to change the constitution to suit his own tenure, then he's failed that promise. Extending his term to benefit himself defeats the very principles he claimed to uphold. I think your panel is being biased in their submission. Actually watching from Ajumako Assassin says, good evening, seniors. I think Ket should leave a legacy by finishing his 2 terms well. It is clear that things have improved since he started. At least 6 over 10 is cool. It may even make things worse if he's given 20 years. Hi, friend. I'm Ike from Kumasi Abrepo. On GFA considering to extend the term limit of the FA president to 3 terms, they have not breached any law. But my worry is the Congress members will accept and extend Ket Okreku's term of office despite the direction our football is heading. As for that one there, they said a suggestion came from them. So that one they guaranteed they will go and vote for it because they suggested it. They said it's not Ket. The GFA secretary said the administration didn't do it. They didn't ask the people to do it. The people now came and said, Ket, you are doing a wonderful job. We want to extend the limit to 3 terms. They say it's the football people. So that one they guaranteed they will vote to endorse those changes. It will happen. But you know, it's very difficult not to see why Ket and his people will take the blame for it because they are the ones that are in power and they are the ones that will ultimately benefit if this goes through. So you can't blame anybody for coming after them and saying that they're only trying to do something that will personally entrench them. So I can understand those people, you know, and why Ket cannot be absolutely absolved from the blame. Mensa Intakradi says, why are Africans so power drunk? It took a coup d'etat to overthrow former GFA President Kwesi Nyantakyi when he refused to leave and kept on postponing his end of tenure. I believe Ket is trying to repeat the same, and the President Paul Biya of Cameroon comes to mind. Mensa, thank you. Mr. Ket should be this message says Mr. Ket should be very careful on this extension part. Even if they succeed at it, it will take effect in the subsequent administration. It should take effect from the subsequent administration. Ket should not benefit. That's an interesting thing. What do you think? He says they can extend it, but they shouldn't start immediately from the next election.
Why not?
Yeah, but why should it? He's making a suggestion of his own.
No, I agree. I'm just thinking through why not.
Yeah.
Why? Because the point is, if that happens, he can go.
Yes.
And then he can come and run. He can come and contest.
And then there will be no allegations of him doing it to favor himself, right? Mm-hmm. He can say, I came in on statutes that guarantee 2 terms.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving. But the next one that comes, the statutes have changed, so now you can do 3 terms. But like you said, at a later date, you can come for a third term. So, yeah? That's an interesting perspective, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's an interesting perspective. This one says, hi, guys, I think Arsenal think that, okay, hi, guys. Arsenal think that because they have signed Gyökeres, they're going to win the league. They are still going to finish second, and and ChatGPT even knows it. Interesting. Ruby in Adenta says, good evening to you, friend, and your able team. The quality of a leader is not determined by their longevity. A good leader could use just a year to leave an indelible mark. Extending the term to 3 could even worsen the small achievement the current FA boss has chalked. If I were him, I wouldn't be going for the next election, but an African leader will always be an African leader. Rubin in Adentan. Francis in Sogakope says, good evening, Fent and crew. These people are somehow more terms for what? We're already tired of them. Fent, see how the last GFA presidential election went. It was a sham, in all honesty. They should sit somewhere and focus on how to do football better in this country. All right, interesting. That's what the last election in Tamale did. I don't want to comment on it. Thank you. Good evening to you, Fent, and your wingman. I know it's just preseason, but United's obvious improvement is admirable. If a solid central midfielder walks through the door, I believe they will do better next season. Again, it's high time fans stop being the judge, jury, and executioner of players that are accused of sexual assault even before or without trial. It's not fair. Wishing Thomas Partey all the best. This one is from Pilolo in Sunyani. It says, I will never forget when Danike said his name is Fentu in the old studio classic movement. He has it around, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has the other way around. You have forgotten.
He has forgotten.
He said he will never forget, but he has forgotten.
It was me that said my name was Daniel Cranting, not the other way around. Anyway, but he's been watching the show a long time.
Yeah, he has been watching. Great fan from day one.
Yeah. This one says, my name is Strongman Fuzi from Wadondoli, Kotia family. I really like your sports every Monday evening. Please keep it up and may Allah bless your good work. Ralph in Ashaman says, good evening, friend. I beg, remind, you know Ralph, the one that sends quotes from his grandmother? Yeah. That's Ralph. I beg, remind Anike, our favorite Unim Chelsea. Grandma quote for today is, quote, if you think you are too small to make a difference, you haven't spent the night with a mosquito.
They make a whole lot of difference.
That's a good one.
The West Pass, the way
you slap yourself.
When they bite you, they'll go, okay. But they'll come and do.
Then you slap yourself. The GFA must kill the 3-term idea since the current EXCO has underachieved and make way for free minds. They seem to be out of touch with reality. The new season will be awesome. All right, that's Raf's message. Okay, guys, keep your messages coming. The number is on your screen, 0551 575757. Right now, I want to talk about a number of things. We'll show you some preseason games and what have you. But, Benai, can we start by talking about some transfers first? And I really want to talk about Thomas Partey. I think that it's an important conversation for us to have. He is joining Villarreal on a 2-year contract. He will play in La Liga and play in the Champions League next season. There were many people that thought, after all of those allegations, Thomas would not be playing football anytime soon. Not only has he not gone out of the jurisdiction of Europe, he will be right in our faces and in our televisions every other week, even going as long as playing Champions League football, 8 matches guaranteed if he's fit in the group phase of a competition. Your thoughts on this? Let me start.
Again, for me, just an eye-opener. There are legal things you need to follow in some of these things. And for me, yes, he's been charged, but the case hasn't gone to court. He's not been pronounced innocent or guilty. So it's what? You are innocent until proven guilty. And this is Villarreal's risk. If within the 2 years, he's summoned and something happens and he has to go to jail, it's their risk. So they are willing to take it. But a player like Hakimi is also going through something similar, but he's still playing for PSG.
Yeah.
When the whole Sigurdsson thing happened, that was different. The Premier League suspended him, and that led to him not playing. When Mendy's thing happened, it was a Manchester City decision to suspend him. And at the end of the day, it completely backfired for the player because he ended up being innocent, and now his career, in fact, just a couple of weeks ago, he was released from Lens. So his career has gone downhill from then. But what led to it was false. He didn't do what he was accused of. So it's just a reminder for us to follow. There's a reason why it's out there, innocent until proven guilty. We don't know. None of us were there. None of us knows exactly what happened. It's up to the courts to decide. And once, or in the meantime, I don't think it will be fair for him to be without a job because of an accusation. So he continues playing. If it happens that he's pronounced guilty, he faces the law. That's perfectly fine. If not, then he goes. But bottom line is, it's Villarreal's risk. Maybe other teams were not willing to take that risk because we understand how these things can happen. He can be summoned at any time. But Villarreal are ready to take the risk. Thomas is not a criminal. So he's very free to do what he loves, which is play football. And he's gotten a club. So obviously, we wish him all the best. And Champions League football, that's a big one. Amazing. That's a big one for him.
Sesco, quick thoughts on Thomas?
Yeah. Look, let me know if it makes sense. Personally, I have no sympathy for people who have done what Thomas has been accused to have done. That is if they have done it. So I would have no sympathy for them if they are proven to have done it. However, I also have a massive, massive dissatisfaction towards people who, under accusations, have lost their livelihoods and their careers because they have been accused, right? So if he's done it, he faces the law. But then I'm so happy that now that he hasn't been proven guilty, he can still move on with his life and do what he loves doing. Because look, it's not the first time we've heard about some of these accusations that has turned out to be wrong, but people have lost a big part of their lives. Even this is a big hit on Thomas because he probably would have been playing with teams with bigger profiles, except that those teams don't want that negative media PR around them. So they wouldn't look at Thomas yet. Villarreal are taking the risk, as Danny says. He plays in Champions League. He plays his football. But even more important, while he tries to clear his name, because remember, Thomas has said that he's not guilty of any of those charges against him. So good luck to him in trying to clear his name. And I wish him well, if indeed the accusations against him are false. But even more important for me is that if Ghana is going to qualify to the World Cup, Thomas Partey being fit and sharp and playing football will be crucial. And so I'm happy that Thomas has found a club in a very competitive league, in a team that if he's fit, he will play for fun, you know. And so that when Ghana needs him to represent the country while he tries to clear his name, he can step up and help Ghana qualify to the World Cup and perhaps go on and be one of our important players when you go to the USA, Canada, and Mexico.
Interesting. So we wish Thomas all the best. The report is that he will sign a 2-year contract. And then we'll see how long he stays there. But I had massive fears if he didn't find a club to play, or if no club was willing to sign him as a result of that, it could have had an impact on whether he'll be able to even play for the Black Stars.
Absolutely, yeah.
Qualify. So now that we know that he can go on playing, then we know that he can also, of course, still play for the Black Stars.
I guarantee you, Otuado would have popped some champagne last night.
I'm telling you. Yeah, you know. But let's clarify.
Why? If Thomas wasn't playing for a club like, we wouldn't choose him.
You know, global pressure. Yeah, then you'll be...
You might even choose him, but you don't know in what shape he will be.
Yeah, there's also that.
What shape? I'm talking about the fitness.
But we saw in the shape in which he was when he turned
he was selected.
Yeah.
The day is Capito.
What I'm saying is Ghana we can do.
No, there's aura and there's... Yeah.
Yeah. Now, but don't get this confused whatsoever. The fact that we are happy that he's going to continue to play does not in any way validate or invalidate anybody's feelings of what you think towards him for what he's been accused of. Bottom line, though, is that he is in court trying to fight to clear his name. There are other women who are also in court trying to fight or fighting to convict him for what they believe has been wrongdoing against them. At the end of the day, the court will make a determination. And whatever be the outcome, I think we'll all be here. We'll still come here and report it and comment on it.
Yeah.
So this is not an endorsement or condemnation of anybody whatsoever. We're just saying that so long as it remains an allegation and is fighting, then it should be allowed to continue playing. And the examples that Sicho and Daniel both gave are examples where the players eventually, I think, Mendy sued Man City and got his money.
He got his money, yeah.
You know, so obviously that is an admission that City didn't do the right thing.
Yeah, in the end, yeah.
Suspending him or terminating his contract while he was fighting to clear his name. Once he eventually did, and then they had to pay him all this money. And I don't think that is fair for someone to get punished. And that's like double jeopardy, right, at the end of the day, you know. Anyway, so we'll see what becomes of the trial or the case itself. But for now, yeah, he's going to play for Villarreal next season. Let's talk about, two more transfers, or maybe one. Benjamin Sesco, the striker from RB Leipzig. He is in hot demand. Apparently, Man United were the ones that were hot on its heels. But just today, we are discovering that it's Newcastle that have made an improvement. In fact, they've already made one bid for him, which was rejected. They've made an improved bid. And now conversations from a lot of the top transfer gurus, including David Ornstein, is that the player himself is considering the move to Newcastle. So my question to you is, what has happened to the United link? What's United doing? They need a striker. What's going on?
You are some way.
What
this
way?
Guy, no, he's some way.
What's some way?
When in this transfer saga was Man U leading? When? You tell me when.
Was Man U what?
Leading the race to sign him. When?
I don't know.
You see this guy?
When we spoke...
Bring the camera back so that we can see his face. This guy, why do you do the things you do?
Which things?
Newcastle were the ones who went first. Newcastle were the ones who told RB Leipzig
are you not a leading club?
They were willing to pay the money and get Sesco. Sesco hadn't decided whether he wanted to join Newcastle. Then Man United came and expressed interest. As of now, Man U has even opened links with the player. They say Man U is thinking of the possibility of buying.
Situation.
Man United's financial situation.
Don't they need a striker? What are they waiting for?
Man U don't need a striker.
They have Højlund.
It's not a need. Man United don't need a striker.
Okay, do you have... Okay, cool.
Then
let's move on then.
Goal scorers. There's Cunha, there's Mbuemo.
No problem.
35 Premier League goals.
No problem.
Need a
Are you supporting
it's not no... Because I've exposed your false this thing, reportage. You are saying let's move on. The guy said that. It's okay. See the way he wrapped the thing. You are listening to him. Are you not listening to what he's saying? See the way he wrapped the thing. And he's saying, Man United were leading. Then he said, so what is wrong with Man U? Such a leading question.
Sicho, what is wrong with Man U? Maybe Savium, come and beat me.
You this guy.
Look, what does it mean by they don't need a striker? They've got goal scorers, but they really don't need a striker? Because there's Watkins that's been linked. Then there's Sesco.
Yeah.
But it appears that none of them is going to end up at Old Trafford.
Ideally, Man United need a striker. Ideally, they do. But they can manage without one. Because they have goal scorers. Cunha could go down the middle. Mbuemo could go down the middle as a striker. And we've seen how he's used some of the players in pre-season playing.
Realistically, Man U would have what kind of season without a striker?
They could be pushing for top 6, top 4, perhaps. The only competition... And here's the thing.
And if a striker would take them where?
Same place, in and around the place.
So a striker would make no difference?
It won't make a difference. What I'm saying is, Man United have got only the Premier League really to focus on next season.
Yes.
They've not got any distraction whatsoever. So they've got a decent number around the attack, right, to compete in the Premier League. So yes, if they can buy Sesco, all the better, because they are not looking at only this season. It will be beyond this season and many more years to come because he's young. But if they can't find Benjamin Sesco, I don't think it's a disaster of an attack that they are taking into next season. I actually think they have to prioritize midfield and what have you. But if Newcastle are opening bid to RB Leipzig is 18 million. I don't think Man United are going to match that. I only see it going one way. I think it's going to end up at Tyneside.
Look at this, from Fabrizio.
Right.
Newcastle have sent an official bid to RB Leipzig for Benjamin Sesco worth 90 worth a 90 million euro package.
Yeah.
80 million plus 10 add-ons. No decision yet from the player.
Yeah.
Manchester United confirmed again to RB Leipzig they will bid if Sesco picks them. Does that mean Man United has bid? No.
Yeah.
Man United has not bid.
So Man United are waiting to convince the player.
You don't understand
Before
me. What are you waiting for? Why are you
I'm
waiting?
saying the way you count.
You don't need a striker.
You made it seem to the viewers that Man United
Had been outbid.
have been outbid, or they were the ones leading the race. Man United have the. This
But
is from
Man-
David.
Man-
This is
you
from
say
David Ornstein.
you are the richest
This is
club
from
in
David
the-
Ornstein. Newcastle make improved bid for RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesco. New offer at least 80 million euros. Positive talks between the club and the
the player.
23-year-old striker. Nothing agreed, but RB Leipzig currently in favor of Newcastle. Plus, no MUFC proposal yet. So
what are you waiting for?
Was Man
What are
U
you
in the
waiting-
league?
what are you
When
waiting-
was Man U in the league?
The Man United, what are you waiting for?
Osika.
No, but I don't think Man United will match that 80 million euros.
Why, they don't have money anymore? I thought they were the richest club in
I'm
England.
just looking at how they actually got the Cunha and Mbemo deal over the line. It was like a tussle. It was almost like they were trying to look. But the Benjamin Sesko deal, 80 million is not what I think Man United would have been willing to pay. Okay. And if Newcastle are going to pay, the payment structure from Newcastle sound reasonable, unless the player tells RB Leipzig that Man United have matched the bid from Newcastle and I prefer Manchester United. Or Man United match it.
Man United know they are not in a financial position to go into a bidding war with Newcastle. That's why they are waiting. That's why they are waiting for the player's decision.
Muniska.
When the player makes like what we saw with the Brentford issue, Tottenham had gone with a higher bid than Man United. But once the player says, I want this club, remember that the reports have also told us that Sesco has a gentleman's agreement with RB Leipzig that if a club he wants to go to comes, they would allow him to go for a certain figure. So if Sesco chooses Man United, then there will be power in Man United's hand to now negotiate the price. It doesn't mean that they are going to bid more than what Newcastle have bid or close to what Newcastle have bid. Man United just wants the situation where the player picks them and now they have the power and they can sit down with RB Leipzig and start negotiating. They obviously cannot match
But with Newcastle's bid around 80 million euros, you don't see Man United buying the player for 60, 65. Probably going to be pushing up around the same figure.
For me, I think
it puts pressure on Man United.
It does put pressure on Man United, but at the end of the day, it's similar to what happened, was it 2 seasons ago with the Caicedo thing? When Liverpool went with the big money and they got rejected, Chelsea had the opportunity to sit down and structure the bid in monetary terms to what suited them. Not necessarily what... Liverpool went with a bang on 115 or 160 million. But Chelsea had now the opportunity to sit down, negotiate with Brighton, and pay it or structure the payments the way they wanted to. That's what I think that's what Man United is also hoping to get from this deal. And if a player doesn't choose them, then they move on.
Okay, but there's nothing on the Watkins end, right? That's not...
So don't be saying that thing. That thing you were saying.
So Man U, so basically Danike is saying that right now Man U is broke. They don't have money, so they are waiting. Then when the Newcastle bid goes in a certain way, then they will see how they can go and do small negotiation. Then they pay 25. Then next year they'll pay 15. Then, Sischo's man, he knows how to pay the money small. Listen, Benaya, give me my graphic. I want to ask the guys a question. Hey, brothers and sisters, there are jobs and there are jobs. There are jobs and there are jobs. Victor Osimhen's wages at Galatasaray. When I saw this last week, my heart dropped. I said, 15 million euros a season. Every week, 288 million euros.
£1,000. 1,000 euros.
1 million in loyalty bonuses. What does that mean, Sicho? Like, just say, if he stays there the whole 4 years, 1 million or what?
Yeah, there are things he has to fulfill.
And the loyalty bonus is what I'm talking about.
And it could also last across the duration. Sometimes it could also last 2-3 years. That in the first 3 years or in the first 2 years of your deal with us, don't talk to any club. We don't want any clubs come and disturb us that they want to sign you. After that one, we now will package you and ship you. So all of they are different. Some
Once
players,
you don't do that, no.
once you don't do that, so any club that comes, you just say that I'm not going anywhere.
Don't be
club,
tempted.
Don't be tempted. Don't even let us open. Then when the time is right, we'll give you 1 million. Then we move.
Then no 1 million.
Quick.
Image rights. Because they'll be using Victor Osimhen on graphics, they'll be using him for advert, match, and also
5 million.
5 million, quick.
God damn it. God damn it.
Yeah. It's a 4-year contract.
And you get all of these for 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are jobs and there are jobs.
There are jobs and there are jobs.
Super.
I'm going to go and inspect Tariq's legs again. See.
You have to call this one.
Bielsa.
Bielsa.
Yes.
Examine the leg.
Come and watch the legs.
Video.
Charlie. Anyway, there were some preseason games. Man United were in action against Everton, Tottenham Hotspur against Newcastle, Barcelona, Liverpool, all of that. So I'm going to show you quite a number of matches from preseason. We'll come back here and wrap it up on the show. Enjoy. Very interesting scenes from the US trials, man. It got feisty, my friends. It got feisty.
Unnecessarily feisty.
Noah Lyles with only his second 200-meter race of the season.
Yeah.
Second win.
Yeah.
He beats Bednarek, who had been unbeaten the whole season.
This season, yeah.
Over 200 meters. That's crazy.
That's why he was furious.
Yeah.
And overreacted.
And his excuses, he wasn't fresh.
Yeah, his excuses. Laos is fresh, and he
did
burning
a lot
out.
of rounds, also the 100.
Yeah, yes.
But Laos ran 100-meter heats, then didn't run again.
Yeah.
But then Bednarek did the
heats,
the semis, the final. That's 3.
Yeah.
Then 200, the heats, the semis,
and then
the final. So the final was his 6th race.
Yeah.
Whereas for Lyles, it was
the
his
heats,
it was his fourth.
In the
It was his
yeah.
4th. The heats of the 100 and the 3 rounds of the 200. Anyway, so
yeah, but when you're athletes and you're coming into it, you know. So you have to get you have to prepare yourself.
But the point is, it was what 1963. Bednarek has never run faster than that. So there's that. So
you can't beat him.
Interesting. Anyway, I've got lots of messages here as well, but we need to wrap up the show. Let me just read one here. This one says, brilliant presentation, my brother. Fentio, 2 terms is enough to do great work. Set the bar high for your successors to come and continue where you left off. This is a message from Kofi. And Inusa from Techiman says, I'm really enjoying the discussion this evening from you and your crew. Very educative and thought-provoking. By the way, why are Africans so power conscious? Very interesting thoughts there. Kwame Logic from Kofodia says, Man United is winning the league this season. And Mensa Intakuradi says, please show us the highlights of the champ matches. Be a very proud African. We will show. Anyway, we don't have time. If we had time, we would have shown it. Anyway, that's our show tonight. Thank you very much. We're back again next Monday. Until then, do take care and bye-bye.